I remember when Jean-Claude Biber presented the watch to some journalists, there was one guy asking, but Mr. Biber, how can you read the time? And Mr. Biber said, you don't need to read the time, take your smartphone.
Right.
Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube, where the watches are the stars. And today it is Hublot who is our star. We are at the headquarters of Hublot here in Nyon in Switzerland. And I'm happy to have with me Raphael Nussbaumer, Head of Product Development. Very warm welcome, Raphael. And I'm very curious to see what you're going to show us in the next hours to be.
Yeah, we are very happy to share with you the novelties, which is based on our 20 years anniversary of Big Bang, with 5 new pieces to celebrate the history of the Big Bang original from 2005.
Looking forward, watch the video. We both will disappear from your screen as always because the watches are the stars. On your screen, 20 years of Big Bang. It's incredible how time rushes. This is the watch that was presented in 2005 by Jean-Claude Biber. And you already see, without that we do anything, that the watch is a little bit different in terms of sizes, of course, weight. And Raphael will give me all the detailed information because he was there and he knows everything. So this is the original piece when Biber took over. He started a new design with the Big Bang. He melted technologies, he melted materials, and he was pioneering this segment very much and pushing it forward. And as you all know, meanwhile, lots of brands have been copying. Is this true? Huh?
Yeah, right.
This is when we started. We will show you the watch. But before, Raphael, we do this, let me present my audience the pieces you have been doing. There is King Gold. Then we do have the full gold.
Magic gold.
Magic gold.
Unscratchable gold.
Unscratchable gold. We do have the all black, legendary all black watch. There's one piece missing. There is red ceramic also.
Ceramic also.
But we don't have it yet.
Not yet available, but soon. Yeah.
You're still working on it, and we are filming here just before Watches and Wonders, and they are still producing it.
Yeah, right. Some issue, but we will be on time.
Yeah, of course. So there's one watch missing. This is also part of this collection. And of course, yes, this is, let me say, the two ones here are the ones that belong together. This was steel. This is titanium, much lighter.
Yeah, much lighter now. The new weight is just under 100 grams compared to 140. Of course, the titanium is lighter compared to steel, and also the movement, because in the past the movement was thick, and today we have the new Unico movement with a thinner size, means you reduce the weight.
Yeah, you reduce the weight and of course the size, yeah, of course. Yeah. At the time being, they didn't have an own movement yet, so they were still working on it. So they had to use what was available on the market. This is, old Valjoux. Technology-wise, very good, no doubt, but thick, and it's indestructible or
Definitely.
Something you can't.
An incredible movement.
Yeah, incredible. But then you all know Unico was presented by Hublot, and then, the watch sizes could shrink, dimensions could shrink, and the watch cut, of course, much more elegant.
The idea was really to celebrate the 20 years anniversary of Big Bang, and that's why we have different signature watches and concepts, like the all black, like the Magic Gold, King Gold, and the titanium. All this concept and raw material allow us to celebrate the 20 years history of Big Bang and 20 years of this incredible revolutionary mindset of Big Bang watch.
Let me start with a watch I very much liked, and it is something that was one of them very first you presented. This was the concept of an all black watch.
Invisible visibility.
Invisible visibility. And I remember when Jean-Claude Biber presented the watch to some journalists, there was one guy asking, but Mr. Biber, how can you read the time? And Mr. Biber said, you don't need to read the time, take your smartphone.
Right. I remember that.
It was crazy, huh? He said, okay, this is now a new concept. You wear art, you wear diffusion. I don't know what he was talking about. But this was the beginning, and everybody in the early days, people said they are crazy, they're selling watches, nobody can read the time, but just a little bit later, everybody was starting to copy it.
Of course, this concept started in 2006. Yeah. The all black now, if you compare some of the brands using this kind of all black concept, ceramic, black ceramic in this period was really quite new to have an all black, and today you can observe some of the brand using a black ceramic concept.
And still, you can read the time, you just have to Play around a little bit when you're having it on the wrist, play around, try to get some reflections on the hands, and you can read the time. It is maybe a little bit more difficult. Maybe when the light conditions aren't the best ones, it gets more difficult, but you can read the time. And I will repeat what Jean-Claude said many years ago, take your smartphone instead. If we continue, I think the unscratchable gold was next. Is
right.
this correct?
It is an unscratchable magic gold, and we decide to have a limited edition based on 100 pieces just to have a signature of celebration. Of course, it was for us completely obvious to have this watch in the 5 watches collection.
This gold is still unscratchable. How hard is it in the surface?
It is very hard. It is higher compared to ceramic. We can say just diamonds could scratch it.
So you are wearing gold, but you cannot destroy it if you, by coincidence, hit something. It's a huge watch, so if you're wearing it on a daily basis, it can happen that you get in contact with something that could harm gold, normal gold, but here in this case, it will not happen.
And it is not only just a kind of unscratchability, but also the color of this gold. It's so different compared to the yellow gold or compared to the king gold. That's why when you wear a magic gold people knows it is a different kind of gold. It's really visible in this case.
This is now king gold beside. And I think we can talk about king gold next, because if I remember correctly, this was following just a little bit later. King gold?
Yes, king gold was introduced in 2009.
Full gold watch with a ceramic bezel.
It is really the signature of combination with gold and black ceramic bezel. One more time, it reminds of the original Big Bang from 2005, the combination of color and raw material.
Then, of course, why did you put the red ceramic in this collection?
One more time, the red ceramic was a key moment for Hublot in terms of innovation in raw material with the vivid color ceramic, and the red was the first vivid color ever done. That's why it was for us logical to have this, obvious to have this kind of watch in our 20 years collection of celebration.
Yeah. And you really have been playing around with these materials very much. This was the basic idea. We fuse different materials and we are pioneering and really trying to push the limits. This was always what Ricardo Guadalupe and Jean-Claude Biver did in the past. And also in another video, if you are on our channel, please be sure to also watch the other videos we are having online concerning the novelties of Hublot. You will see the sapphire crystal watches, and you're also mastering something that is really wow. Let me interrupt this video for a short moment, please. We need you to join our community on our website, www.watchadvisor.com. You can now discover more content. We are going to create forums. We have discussions. You can share stuff. You can come in discussion with me. We're going to present you more insights, more in-deep videos, more in-deep information, and so on and so on and so on and so on. It's all about watches. WatchAdvisor is the name. I am the WatchAdvisor, you know that. This was the reason I'm interrupting this video, and now enjoy the rest of it. Now, let me also give you some information concerning sizes. Let me choose the titanium one. It applies to all the other watches as well. It's a 43mm case. The thickness of this case is 13.2 millimeters. The dial aperture is 32 millimeters.
With, for the first time, a plain dial. It's for us something new. You cannot see the chronograph system through the dial. The dial is now stamped in three-dimensional, and the details in the dial is very important compared to the watch we launched in 2005.
And the length of the watch, there are no lugs. They have the one-click system, so you can easily, I can even do this with gloves, so don't worry if you are thinking that this is rocket science. It's not. The length of the watch is 45 millimeters. That legendary one-click system. Also something, look, this watch, the original didn't have it. So the strap was attached. Take it or leave it. You liked it or not.
You can do it, but by the screwdriver.
You had to go to the watchmaker. You had to do it in the way as it was done in 2005, 20 years ago. You didn't have this technology. And again, here, Hublot pioneered this system. I think you were one of the first, not the first maybe, but one of the first to have this so simple system. It's so easy. The only thing is that where is written Hublot has to be clicked in at 12 o'clock.
As you said, we are not the first, but we decide to have a visible system The one-click system is really visible. That's the difference compared to other brands.
And some brands had or do still have push pieces down there. Different concepts, but this is really easy. And handling watches with gloves is very difficult. So if you don't believe me, try it at home, put on some gloves and try to manipulate your watch, and you will see how challenging this is. And you just push here, and then you just click it out, and to bring it back. The only thing you have to remember, 12 o'clock, Hublot. And then you go, click, the same here. Be sure to get the right side outside and inside as you want to click. That's it. Easy. And if you want to change one of these straps for another color if you want, or another surface, Hublot offers lots of alternatives.
Yeah, we have lots of alternatives, and this new strap is just new in terms of design with a structured losange design in the surface, but we can also exchange the strap with, for example, a linen straight strap. You know, we have different kind of alligator strap in the collection. It is compatible with this watch.
So, as Raphael just said, if you are keen to wear it with another type of strap or another surface material or surface structure, you can easily do this. And I think this is, you choose, you are the client. This has become, meanwhile, standard in the watch industry. But I remember many years ago, I always said to the people who developed watches, why are you deciding how someone should wear the watch? And why can't the client decide himself to say, okay, today I'm in the mood of red, blue, I want leather, I want rubber, I want a metal bracelet, could be done in theory.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I very much like the fact that you choose. I buy the watch, it's my watch, I decide how I want to wear it, and it's not the manufacturer who has to tell me how to wear my watch. So I very much like it. Also here, you see, it's the same one-click system. Push here, you see, you open. That's so easy. Click. Raphael, a little word about the Unico movement. When you developed it, what was the purpose? Of course, to have an in-house movement, but you also integrated much more than this in that movement.
Of course, our Unico movement, the new generation, Unico 2, which was introduced in 2017 in our collection of Big Bang Unico. And today, for the 20 years anniversary,
the power reserve,
72 hours.
72 hours, so that's already something. And I remind you that there are chronographs on the market out there that still have only 40 or 45 hours of power reserve. So it is something. It's a 4 Hertz movement, 28,800 semi-oscillations.
For the first time, we have a 22-karat gold
winding system,
oscillating weight with the signature of 20 years anniversary engraved. This is a completely new and give to the collection a kind of uniqueness.
So this applies to all the watches?
Yeah.
All black. It's the only thing that's not black.
Yeah.
A little touch.
Contrast.
A little touch. And if we look at the original version, the Valjoux, there was, of course, no gold here. The standard, and I always, this when you, because the old Valjoux, the automatic winding rotor, did only wind in one direction, and if you were accelerating it in the wrong direction, you had to kill the energy, otherwise it would have destroyed the movement, and so you had this oscillating weight really turning on your wrist. You remember that?
Right, yeah, I remember, yeah. I know.
This is no longer the case today, because this is, I think, winding in both senses. Yeah. Of course. Now, let me talk about some quantities and prices, please. Yeah. In titanium, we have 500 pieces, and the watch is sold for 18,900 Swiss francs, including Swiss VAT. I do also have the price in Europe, if you want. It's 21,600 euros, including 20% VAT. If you need a net price, deduct 16.666%. And 500 pieces will be made. So if you want to have one, this is, by the way, my favorite because it's cool. I have this one at home. I bought it because I wanted to have it in the early days. Now this would be the logical follow-up. Let me talk about King Gold. Here is King Gold. 250 pieces. The price in Swiss francs is 34,900 Swiss francs, 34,900, and in euro, 39,900, always including VAT, value added tax. So it's not a net price. This is not a net price. 250 pieces. Then the red one, we can only show a picture. The red one is limited to 100 pieces and will be sold for 28,900 Swiss francs or 33,000 euro. So next one I will show you is the all black. If you want to read the time, use your smartphone. Have you ever seen Jean-Claude Biber in an interview? If not, go on our channel. We do have several interviews with Jean-Claude, and then you know why I was exaggerating in saying, use your smartphone. This was Jean-Claude live. So this is limited to 500 pieces, and the price is 22,900 Swiss francs or 26,200 euro. 500 pieces if you want one. How is it again? Visible, invisible? No, what was it? The visible, invisible?
Invisible visibility.
Invisible visibility.
And of course, all black is always in terms of desirability. After 20 years, all black collection were always a kind of interesting product.
You mean
people
that the old one?
keep value.
Because
it's so special and so interesting.
Yes. Of course, Hublot made several of them in different, also with tourbillons and different executions. And all these watches became iconic. Meanwhile, that's true. So 500 pieces, I gave you the price. And last but not least, Magic Gold. 100 pieces will be offered for the celebrating the first 20 years. The price is 36,900 Swiss francs or 42,200 euro. Do you, by coincidence, remember for how much you sold the first Big Bang, like we do see it here?
The price?
Yeah.
As I remember, we have a price at 8,500, something like that.
20 years ago, 8,500, yeah.
We increased a little bit the price until...
But the entire watch industry, the price increases come year by year. So 8,500 in the early days, 20 years ago, you see.
Last things, Alexander, before you finish the presentation, we have a last interesting signature on the watch, on the crown, which is engraved 20 years anniversary.
The saga will continue, of course. It's not yet done. And I'm looking forward. I won't probably do the video in the next 20 years. But you never know. You never know. Maybe I'll do it, or maybe for the next.
We hope so.
Okay, so this was it. We have been showing you the watches, bread and butter watches in terms of this is the base collection. There's more to come on WatchAdvisor on YouTube. Of course, we do have more to show you. Just in case you are watching this video as the first video, please check out the other videos we have online concerning Hublot celebrating 20 years of Big Bang. Raphael Nussbaumer with me. Thank you once again for joining in. As always, you know him. If you go back in our videos from the last years, he was always presenting the watches with me. I'm happy he was there. Tell us some stories about you and Hublot and Big Bang. Do you have one? Tell us the stories. I'm keen to read that. Thanks a lot for watching the video on WatchAdvisor on YouTube. And if you think that this is your channel, please check out our website, WatchAdvisor.com, and especially our community section on our website to really get in touch with us, to share lots of things. You will get more detailed information about the watch industry, in-depth videos. More fun will happen there. So if you're interested, have a look at WatchAdvisor.com.